papers because she's feeling a bit hard done by. Is that all right with you?
It's an extraordinary situation, isn't it?
Do you think we could try that?
Yeah.
Send a note to the managers here and say, look, I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
we think we should get a bit more money.
Yeah,
do you mind taking some off Alan Brazil?
Exactly.
Giving some of it to us.
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it'll go down very well. So it wouldn't go down very well without.
No, indeed. Mark McGrath is here, though. He's the Sun on Sunday's football reporter. He's just touched down in Singapore, along with the rest of the Chelsea squad. Unfortunately, minus Pedro, of course, who got his head nearly taken off in that game against Arsenal the other day. Let's talk to Mike and see how things are. Mike, a very good morning to you.
Hi guys, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, not at all. Thank you for coming on. I know it's all a bit hectic out there with so much Far East action going on. Bayern Munich coming up on July the 25th, July the 29th into Milan. It's quite a strenuous tour this for Chelsea, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think that they've done quite well though to have this whole week in Singapore. Just to have the whole week where they can concentrate on the two games, whereas I thought Arsenal were. They were moving around a little bit more.
Yeah. Obviously. I think Lord Nelson was a genius.
Lord Nelson, no.
Well, do you know how?
Because if he was a genius, he wouldn't have been standing on the deck when all the firing was going on.
Yeah.
And he would have probably not died in the way that he did.
That's because he led from the front all the time. I mean, remember, he lost his arm and his eye in two previous battles by doing exactly the same thing.
Well, that makes him a very brave man. Yeah. Doesn't make him a genius.
It makes the genius bit of it is that do you know how hard it is to sail a fully masted ship?
Yes, I do. Because I've sailed a sailing boat.
Okay,
so I know
but I mean, I'm talking about
but I mean, you've never
sailed 40-gun Royal Navy.
The principle is the same, though.
Eh?
Principle is the same.
Well, it's not really, because what you're having to do is you're having to turn your boat to face the enemy, and if the wind's blowing the wrong way, that is very difficult.
Yeah, but when they were not, when the wind was not in their favour, they didn't fight. You know, they didn't just suddenly go, right, today's the day we're going to have a battle. Yeah. They would fight depending upon where the weather was, and what the wind was like.
Well, yes, but you say, the flaw in your argument there is if two navies are approaching each other, right?
Yeah.
Then they have to fight, because one is not going to get out the way of the other.
No, I know, but the point is that they position themselves for the best possible outcome, depending upon which direction the wind is coming from.
But the wind can only blow one way. But the
Actually,
two
that's
navies,
not true.
The two navies are not sailing in the same direction.
The wind can blow in a variety of ways. That's what makes sailing quite difficult.
Yes, it can, and you can in fact tack across the globe. So if the wind is blowing at you, you have to turn the boat round and go zigzag.
You see, that's not strictly true. You can't sail into the wind.
So how do you go forward if the wind's blowing into you?
You don't.
What do you do?
You have to go sideways, right? So
that's what I just said, tack.
No, you don't tack. You have to go in a completely different direction in order to get the wind to fill your sail.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then you can try and correct it as you go. But you basically can't sail straight into the wind. It's not possible.
No, I agree, because it would blow you backwards.
Well, exactly.
And the ships weren't
anyway, what you know about sailing, you could literally write on the back of a postage stamp.
I have no aspirations.
You've got no experience of sailing.
No experience, no aspirations. Right. When I go on water, I like to be in a craft that, is a good way off the water. You know
I'll tell you a story, for example, that when I was sailing in the Caribbean with our friend Chris Oliver, right, and he was the captain of the ship. We used to call him Captain Hazelwood.
Well, that would be a disaster.
No, he was a terrific sailor.
No, Chris is intoxicated most of the
time.
Yeah,
I know, but he was still a terrific sailor.
Right.
And I wasn't. I was very much a novice, right? But he went downstairs to be with his wife. Yeah. I was left in charge of the boat. And we were going along very happily at about sort of 8 or 9 knots. Yeah. And there was an island to the right, about probably 500 yards away. And it was a very nice sunny day. Suddenly this huge black cloud appeared on the left of me. And I saw this thing and
like
I thought...
doom.
Yeah. And I thought, well, that's interesting looking. I wonder what's going on there. And it's what they call a squall, which is like a little mini sort of thunder system, right?
Yeah.
And suddenly the thing was over the boat. And the boat took off like a speedboat.
Yeah.
It started leaning, massively to the right.
Yeah, so you should have taken some sail down then.
Well, yeah, but I wasn't really sure what to do.
Yeah, sure,
and it was then being pushed closer and closer to the rocks on this island. And I'm thinking...
he's going to wreck the boat.
Yeah, and the guys had told us, because you can't really insure sailboats, they said if you smash the boat up, you'll be paying us 60,000 quid. And I'm going, right, what are we going to do? I'm shouting, it was so windy.
Why didn't you run downstairs and say, Chris?
I couldn't run downstairs, my hand was on the steering wheel.
Oh, I see.
I was steering the boat.
Didn't Chris notice that the boat had picked up speed and was rocking from side to side, and the whole light had gone?
No, it wasn't rocking from side to side, it was in the water, it was like, it was pitching to the right, it was going to the right, and all of this happened in a matter of seconds, by the way, so I mean, he did realise, and suddenly came upstairs, and I'm sort of battling with it, trying to keep it going left instead of right, couldn't make it do it, it kept going right. All he did was he turned it the other way, way. He turned the wheel to the right, turned the boat around, and it stopped completely.
Right.
And I was so impressed. He's literally stopped it on a nickel.
On a sixpence.
Yeah. And then
started
sailing it the opposite way.
Yeah.
And saved everybody's life and money and everything else.
Brilliant. The time that I most enjoyed on a boat, and I haven't been on many boats, to be honest. I don't have an urge to go on boats.
What about your membership of the sailing club?
Well, that's
social.
A social membership.
Social membership. How is the Commodore?
Well, I have discussions with the Commodore, on the terrace overlooking the Solent, and watch the ships go by, so to speak.
Right.
But
is the America's Cup still going on, by the way, or is it finished now?
Oh, no, it's finished.
Did it? Who won it then?
New Zealand beat America about 8-1 or something, something like that. We got, booted out in the
I know
rounds.
Ben Ainsley lost them, that sort of semi-final.
Yeah, something like that, and that huge hangar that they have down in Portsmouth with the boats in is now a very sort of silent and lonely place, because they're supposed to win it.
Yeah.
But anyway, one time I was in the British Virgin Islands.
Oh, yeah.
And so everybody said, "Oh, we're going out on a boat today." Oh, that's great. So this will be good because there were a good party of us. It was what you might call a facility.
A freebie.
Facility trip.
Yeah.
So we got on this boat, and it was brilliant. And we kept sailing past little islands because there's a lot of islands in the British Virgin Islands. So anyway,
the
archipelago. That's absolutely right. So we're sailing past one island, and I said to the captain, because we had a captain and a crew, and all that kind of stuff. I said, "Look, why can't we stop? Because every time we pass one of these little islands, there's a little beach bar, literally manned by one person who's sitting behind it,
waiting to shake a cocktail for you."
That's right. 2 miles of sandy beach, nobody there. It's paradise.
Yeah.
And he said, we can't get close enough. He said, but if you want me to, we'll drop anchor here. But you guys will have to swim ashore, because we haven't got
we'll take a little dinghy. Doesn't have a little dinghy at the back?
Yeah, they did have a little dinghy on the back, but he said it takes an hour to get the dinghy in the water and then get it back in again. He said, we haven't got all that much time. He said, I'm stopping. If you guys at your own risk want to dive off the side of the boat, swim to the shore.
Well, the Beef's just hit his first drive off the first tee.
Has he? How did he do?
He looks fine. He's just in the slight rough, just off the fairway. Looks absolutely fine.
There you go.
Great start.
There you go. He hasn't lost his concentration. We have inspired him. He's an inspiring figure.
There you go.
So anyway, he said, you can dive off and you can swim ashore, you have a couple of cocktails. He said, I'll just do some maintenance work on the boat. He said, and then swim back.
Right.
I thought, this is paradise.
But you can't swim for a cocktail, surely.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
So, honestly, I would say it was 100 yards offshore, right?
Yeah.
So I said to the other guys, you for it? And there were a few ladies there as well. They were right up for it, they loved it, and so we all dived off, swam ashore. I mean, the most magical thing, we sat at the cocktail bar, we had about 3 cocktails, and then amazingly, we paddled into the sea and swam back to the boat, which is so against, health and safety rules, full of alcohol.
You wouldn't be allowed to do it now.
No.
They give you a life jacket.
And swimming in the Caribbean Sea towards a boat. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Even scrambling back aboard the boat, was an effort to get up the old ladder and all that kind of stuff.
It's a shame you didn't have any, camera phones in those days.
Yeah, it is.
You've got no pictures of anything like that.
No,
so much of what we did, you couldn't get a picture of.
No, I know.
Because you didn't have a waterproof camera.
But it was terrific.
Yes, indeed. Lots more to come, including an update from Birkdale coming next.
Smile at me, I will understand, 'cause that is something everybody everywhere does in the same